Hey everybody, so today we're working on the latest John Deere 4630 that we purchased this summer. Quad range unit with, I think it had around 9 or 10,000 hours. So what I'm doing here is this is the only machine that has 2 remotes on the back. The other 2 that we run have 3, and it's not a big deal, but it is nice to have these tractors kind of similar and comparable, because we do have a couple of implements that require 3 remotes, and it just makes this tractor as universal as the other 2. Kind of an expensive upgrade. You need this adapter plate here and an extra remote. Now you can buy these kits online or through a local salvage yard. There's 2 or 3 within a state away of me that would sell me this kit with the linkage, the lever inside, the remote, the 1 remote, and that plate there for right at $1,400 to $1,500. And everything's used. I mean, just 1 used remote alone is about $650. Refurbed is about $900 to $1,000. So what I did, because I didn't want to spend that much if I could help it, was I called around. I know a lot of mechanic friends, just people I know, and I was checking to see if they had any 30, 40 series tractors that they were junking out. And there was a friend of mine that had an 8630, and it just happened to also be a late serial number like this tractor is, because there is a split. There's an early and a late on the 8630 and 4630, where they will share the same adapter valve, but the early and the late will not interchange. So if you're doing this, be sure you're getting, if you've got a late serial number, make sure you get a late serial number plate. They are different. So what I ended up doing was talking to him. He had a tractor he was junking out because the engine was bad, that 8630. I was able to buy all 3 remotes off of it and that adapter plate for $800. Now, that's a heck of a deal, and that's, I felt I was being fair just because I don't know if these remotes are in good working condition. Maybe they all are, maybe none of them are, and that's kind of my risk there. What really gets expensive is this linkage, and being that 8630 was a 4-wheel drive and used cables instead of a linkage rod, I had to come up with a linkage part. And the linkage rod from Deere to go up to that lever is $175 for this piece of threaded rod. So what I did was got online. I found the shorter version of that rod, which I think is this first remote, something similar in length. And all I'm going to do is lengthen it. I just got to lengthen it to the appropriate length. Just put a piece in the middle. 25 bucks. So $150 savings. I did have to buy the lever. That was $115. Now, I should have had to buy this piece, which goes up into the cab, and this piece here, this lever that goes up underneath here, up in there. But for some reason this tractor has this lever here, which is the 3rd remote. I don't know if they came that way later on, or if this tractor had a 3rd remote at some point. It doesn't look like it, but anyway, it's there. So all I got to do is return those couple parts and install this lever inside and this lever outside along with the other remote. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this and walk you through it. So a little farther along here, I got the original valve pulled off. Here's the replacement valve. You can tell it's visibly bigger. Got the extra remote spot up here. So this is the back side. I purchased some new O-rings. There's 5 of them. And I think there's actually one that goes, there's one that goes there that I need to stick in. So be careful when you remove that plate. There is 2 spool valves there with 2 springs, and they are directional. That coned end goes in, and there's also one. There's another spring that goes here, and I have it over here. And what I had to watch on these is there's some stacked washers here there was fewer on the piece that I pulled out than was on the piece that I'm replacing. So I just basically moved the washers from this one over to this one to keep my same height, and I'm hoping that takes care of it. That's what it was set at, so I'm putting it back where it was set. So gonna put this back on. Got the lever in the cab already. Wasn't too bad a job. Kind of dark in here, but he had to take that panel off the side and run the new lever up. New lever's right there. I had to see if I can get some light in there. Basically just bolt that lever onto that new onto that arm that was already in place. So that wasn't too bad a job. I'll get this bolted on, get the remotes bolted on, and then I'll take care of the linkage issue, get that new rod cut to length or extended to length. Getting close to the end of this little project. I installed all 3 of those remotes that I got from that salvage tractor. Mainly because I know the 2 that were on here, one needed some work and one actually stole off another tractor, so it's good to just go on with some fresh units. We'll see how bad they are, but everything else is hooked up. This one rod for the 3rd remote here, I don't have in yet. Actually, I got it right here. I needed to cut about 1 inch out of it, actually. So that's a better deal than have to extend it, but I'm going to cut a little bit out, weld it up, and throw it in that eyelet right there, if you can see that. Right there. Hook it up right here, and do a little adjusting. We'll give it a try. So I've got the install complete on the 3rd remote. Got a new handle in there. Got the access panel back on. And so what I've been doing is using this loop hose that we use to warm up tractors in the wintertime. Just been plugging it in each remote, running the hydraulics both directions. While I was doing that, I did not have any oil drips. Now there is some oil on here because I sprayed some penetrating oil on there because he's got some rust in them, just to help be able to relieve or pull the couplers in and out a little better. Just for now anyway, until we kind of put it into use, and that'll get better. But I don't see any leaks on the bottom side, anything dripping. You know, that's a steady thing. So as far as function, they're working that way. The only thing I'm not going to know until I hook it to an implement is the condition of the poppets inside. So if I go to lift the bale up with a processor, is that going to hold the bale up, you know, overnight, or is it going to settle, you know, that type of thing. So I don't know their conditions in that way yet, but I will pretty soon. So overall, I'd say it's pretty cheap installation of the 3rd valve. The linkage all worked out good. My new rod, I welded it up right there, but everything worked good, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So kind of a budget deal. If you can find a wrecked tractor that you can barter some of the parts off of it, go ahead and do that. Just make sure you know your serial number range when you do it, so that you're getting the right stuff. So I think that's it for now. We got a block heater to put in this old girl and a few other things, and we'll be good to run. So thanks for watching.